Hi, I'm Charlie, and this is Munching Around Milwaukee. Munching Around Milwaukee is a YouTube podcast where we talk to local chefs, restaurateurs, foodies, and food influencers. So today, I do have one of our great chefs here in Milwaukee, Chef Ramses Alvarez. Chef,
Charlie, how are you?
good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Chef Ramses is the chef owner of Brisa Do Mar, which coincidentally is next to our building here. And I have to tell you, you've been open close to a year, right?
Yeah, 9 months.
So when it was revealed that there was going to be a restaurant next door, that's all anybody could talk about. I said, because there was a restaurant next door, Riverfront Pizzeria, which kind of used to be here, and it kind of fell in. The quality fell over time, and they sold out, and so Chef took it over, and his Brisa Do Mar means sea breeze in Spanish.
Yes, sea breeze.
In Spanish.
Yes. Yeah.
I speak this much Spanish. So Brisa is a great place. We love it, and we'll get to that in just a minute. So what I like to do is let's talk about how we got here. So you were born in Mexico.
Mexico City, yeah, born and raised.
You got your love of food and cooking and things related by watching your godfather at family parties.
Yes. My godfather, he was executive chef in a hot restaurant in Mexico City in the Polanco area. I never got to see him, but every time there was a big family gathering, he would come in and cook actually. And
right.
Of course, it blew my mind the stuff he would do, cakes and like he would do this stuffed pork leg with a bunch of stuff. It was like
So he was your early inspiration into the world of food.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, mom too. Of course, we had a little restaurant.
Everybody's mom, yeah, sure. have to give mom props.
Yes.
Yeah, my mom cooked differently than we do now, but sure, we got our basics and our fundamentals from our moms.
Italian food, right?
Absolutely.
Oh
yes,
wow.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure you got around the table very good.
We used to have on holidays fresh pasta and meatballs that would cook overnight. So they'd put it on at 10 o'clock at night and on low, and it would just through the house. And then you wake up in the morning for Christmas, and back in those days, you weren't allowed to eat before you went to church. So we had to smell this all night long.
And all morning.
and we go to get a meatball. Said nope. Wait till after church. I said, all right. So you're in Mexico City, and then fast forward, you end up going to culinary school.
Yes. And in fact, a bunch of my friends were in culinary school. I knew I wanted to cook. I love cooking, and I was working with my mom's little restaurant stands that she got in the streets, and then we have a little diner, and I was working already in the kitchen. Some of my friends were in culinary school already, and they asked me, "It's like, Ramses, why you just go to culinary school?" And we did, and I worked on a couple of restaurants in Mexico City, just helping, not much really. Mm-hmm. But when I went to culinary school, it was the greatest because some months we would go around the country and do staging right. in different hotels. So we would not get paid, but we would get to work and
got some experience
and work long days, but we get to stay in the hotel, drink and eat for free after.
Oh, so it's a double. You get the experience and you get to eat and drink for free. All right, that's a good one. I'll have to remember that one.
Yeah.
So after that, eventually you find your way to the United States. So tell us how you got here.
Yes. So I follow my friends. Some of them were ahead of me already in the school. And I follow up with them, and then I went to school. I started school. We started doing some of the trips that we were in different hotels, and I spent some time in Cancun, some time in Guadalajara, in Puerto Vallarta, and Sinaloa, in different hotels and resorts over there. Then, I already jumped into this beautiful world of the culinary world, and I was like, whoa. So I'm always been like, I want to go big. I want to just go big. So I start. It was a program in the school where you go stage in different countries. So then I got the help of a teacher and information. I got to just apply everywhere. France, Italy, and United States, couple of places. I got connected with Chef Sandy D'Amato. I got to Chicago first, actually, I tried to do a stage in a couple of restaurants over there, and I was not successful there. It's tougher, the culinary scene, it's greater and it's tougher over there. So, Milwaukee culinary scene is just blooming right now, and it's great, So I got in touch with Chef Sanford D'Amato, and he definitely extended a hand to me and it's like, yeah, come on. I worked with him at the beginning of 2000.
Sanford, one of the top fine dining restaurants here in Milwaukee. So you work. I know you worked in a series of places here. You were at
Le Par Bistro,
right?
Weber, Chef Weber, and Adam Siegel.
The one that I can't think of it.
Mason Street Grill.
Mason Street Grill. Thank you.
Yeah, I was executive chef there.
Juniper 61.
Yes.
Which is now Collegenza. Mm-hmm. And where was the Hyatt Regency?
Yeah, I took over. My last job was the Hyatt Regency. It was the biggest operation ever in my life.
Okay.
Yeah, because we do banquets for 1,200 people, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You work 24 hours and you're still short.
Yeah, when I was in college and high school, I worked in country clubs, and we would hold banquets, and we'd have, only 300 or 400, but still, it's still. You eventually want to own your own place.
Yes. I knew I wanted to own a restaurant, of course. And not the word owning a restaurant. I knew I wanted to be free to cook my menu, my food, my way to the customers and transfer them to the table. That was the main goal, which leads into, you need to get your own restaurant,
right.
In order to do something like that. At the Hyatt was going great. It was the biggest paid job I ever had. And I thought I had a really good opportunity. I was thinking already big. Well, after here, maybe we can go work in different countries, that was the goal. But then COVID happened. And the beautiful thing about the Hyatt, the top floor used to rotate restaurant. Right. I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
Anyways, right now the closed restaurant, the closest restaurant doesn't rotate the top, but the view is incredible around the whole city. They do banquets in there, and the ladies from the Hyatt Regency, the sales ladies, would sell private chef dinners up on top, like a chef table. So sometimes I have a 300 banquet here, I have a 200 banquet over here, and plus a chef table upstairs. Yeah. It was great, the challenge was incredible, and of course, I'm always wanting the challenge. And so I started doing private dinners upstairs, and I started connecting with people, and they start asking me if I can do private dinners in the house. And that's how everything started. Then COVID happened, everyone lost their job, basically. And then I went into my website, built a website. I built it myself. It took me like 3 days.
Wow.
I'm not tech at all. And I wanted to do private dinners, so I built a private chef website, and I started marketing myself everywhere,
Sure.
Facebook, Instagram, and I just went on, and it happened. It took off,
Well, I know that I follow you on social media, and I know you do a lot of live stuff. I see on Instagram or Facebook. I see Chef Ramses live. I know you've got some YouTube videos out there, and you're just very present currently on social media. So I'm sure that you've honed that over the last 4 or 5 years since you started doing that. So where does Dia Bomb come into play?
Yes. I have a really good friend of mine, the name Gina, and she was from Newland Enterprises. She was the culinary person for the Newland Enterprises, but they own the Crossroad Collective, which is a food hall in the east side of Milwaukee. And one day we went to Morel to visit Chef Jonathan, and Gina, it's the Jonathan's girlfriend. And she was eating there. Shannon, we're having a romantic night, Shannon is my girlfriend and my partner. And Gina's there, so we start talking, and Gina's like, Ramses, would you like to own a restaurant? I said, well, yeah. Yes, absolutely. What's the catch, So she got me into the Crossroad Collective. She helped me to put up a stall in there. She helped me with the equipment. She did a lot of great things for us. And, it's like, wow, with the help of your friends, you can go really far in life,
But the food there, a lot of nice place. I know Egg and Flour was there, Adam Pollock and Alex's place, and Tricolo. And you were farther back on the backside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
I know. See, I think I have eaten your food at multiple different places, and because
Thank
I've
you.
been to every one of these places that you've worked at, so
Yes.
you know, I probably probably had your food and it didn't meet you until you moved over here. All right, so
When I got this opportunity, I know I love the Asian fusion coming to America.
right,
It was just like a mind blowing to see the ethnicities collide together and get together and you know, like the fusion of food. You know, like you go into a Puerto Rican area, but you have different ethnicities living, like Asian, Afro American or Uganda, and all these people ended up collaborating together, sharing the food, and just incredible. It just blew my mind when got here, and that's how the album happens. It's like I want to celebrate, the ethnicities colliding together. So, and ended up doing Asian food, Latin Asian food, but it wasn't not just Mexican and Japan. It was Brazilian, it was Portuguese, it was Argentinian, and it was China, and it was like different regions of Asia. So.
right. Well, that's great. So from let's see, Dia Bom.
Yeah.
I always want to say Bom Dia. From Dia Bom, you have the opportunity to come over here and start Brisa Do Mar.
Yes. So our contract was done with Diabom. Of course, we had the opportunity to renew it. It wasn't. Well, I was doing a lot of private dinners, and I was running the restaurant, and we had a food truck, which we create. Brew Burger Shop, at Zocalo. The Zocalo is the food truck park here in the south side of Milwaukee.
6th Street over on the south side. Yeah, it's a
Beautiful
great
place.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes. So I was just all over the place, private dinners, and it was, we were doing great.
And you're still standing.
Yeah, after like 18 hours of work every day.
Right.
So we did renew the contract because we had the opportunity to open another location for Diabom, a brick and mortar, and the south side of Milwaukee in the Lincoln Warehouse. And we were gonna to do that. We were working with the contract. We were working the best way to do this because the place was ground zero. All they had is the hood, and that's it.
Right.
So we need to, the investment would have been basically
Significant.
and so we were working all those things and logistics. And the process of that, we got approached by Peter Renner from Peter Renner Architects, and he's like, Ramses, I have a restaurant. Would you be interested? It's like, yes, sure. Let's open another restaurant. Why not, right?
So Brisa opens, and before we talk about Brisa, I want to show you what Chef brought today. So this is a Neapolitan pizza. It looks like we have. Tell us what we have here.
Yes. So the Napolitan dough, of course, one of the kinds, amazing way to make it. When I was starting the dough, figured it out the Napolitan style. I was thinking, what are those guys? What century ago was thinking to make this recipe, But whatever. Bianco de Napoli, tomato sauce.
Right.
Fresh mozzarella cheese, basil.
Let me give you.
Yes.
Oh, we have a guest here. Jerry, give me your plate over here.
Have a bite of this, please.
So we're giving Jerry a little food too. All right. And so so that's the Bianco tomatoes.
Yeah, Bianco de Napoli tomatoes.
Yeah, in Napoli.
Yeah, fresh basil, fresh mozzarella, and that's it. A little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, and that's as simple as that. The greatest pizza. And
so, and then you're on your menu have multiple Mediterranean cuisines. I know you've got French, Greek, Italian,
Spanish.
and so sticking with the Italian, Chef brought some bucatini with chicken and pesto and
Ricotta, whipped ricotta cheese with herbs. Yeah.
So I might have to have a little bit, just a little bit, and I'll pass this down the line. So what was the inspiration for this, Chef?
Yes. So when we took a look of the restaurant where it used to be a riverfront pizza,
Right.
It was very unique because the restaurant actually has two types of ovens. We got the deck oven inside the kitchen,
Right.
big deck ovens with a brick base, and they have Napolitan oven in the dining room. So I was, this is amazing. This is a chef dream right here. It's like you can do some amazing things here with this. And I knew I wanted to do I love Italian food. Don't get me wrong, but like I always say, I wanted to think big. I want more. Always want more.
Right.
I was like, let's do Mediterranean. So that gives me and allows me to do what the countries you mentioned. And also the Mediterranean, North Africa is the other side of the Mediterranean.
Right.
From Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, to Lebanon, Egypt, and Turkey. Turkey is part of the Mediterranean too. So all those countries also, we do a little bit, we have a naan bread, there's a Turkish naan bread with satar, pomegranates, mint, and a little bit of feta cheese with olives. Very ethnic. I have some customers that are coming because this is a Mediterranean restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
They expect to be just only Mediterranean from the country because, they think Morocco is Mediterranean and they want just their food.
It does border both Africa and so.
Yeah, but I love it.
So one of my favorite things, one of your appetizers, is your eggplant
Chips.
Chips.
Yeah.
They're about that thin. That slice the eggplant very thinly, lightly breaded, lightly fried. So good.
So we slice we eggplant and we put a little bit of salt and let it bleed out a little bit.
Okay.
So
what's we got one more dish that we have to go. So what do you have here, chef?
Yeah, this is the traditional Spanish tapa,
Okay.
and this is the gambas al ajillo.
Gambas, which is shrimps.
Shrimp, yeah, which means shrimp and garlic scampi.
Ooh,
Shrimp and
look,
scampi, basically.
Hey, Jerry, you can have my toast.
We do a sauce with lots of garlic, roasted garlic and fresh garlic together, with butter, head-on shrimp, prawns, and we do put some chickpeas in it just for texture
I love chickpeas.
and more flavor. And it's just chickpeas are very Mediterranean
Yeah.
also. We love this dish. Very popular in the restaurant, the gambas. Once again, some people say, well, this is not Mediterranean. It is Mediterranean as it can be.
Sure it is. I'm gonna take a little bite while we continue talking here. It's hard to have all this food sitting
Right.
right in front of me.
Well, thank you, Charlie, for inviting me. This is really, really nice. This is a very, very beautiful show. I watch your channels and I watch some of your episodes, and
Thank
you're
you.
doing a great things. And most important for the culinary scene in Milwaukee, we've been on the underdog for a while in the country. I think Milwaukee has a lot to offer. Every time I travel, I always find somebody from Milwaukee. Always constant.
So, other than Brisa, you finished work. It's the end of the day. Where do you go to get something to eat? That's not your restaurant.
Correct.
What are some of your favorite places?
Yes, that's a lot of great places in the city, of course. Hot Dog, we really like Hot Dog.
Odd Duck is over on the 2nd Street there in Walker's Point.
We really, they open late, so it's a good late bite. Of course, Kyle with Birch.
Birch, yeah.
We live around the corner from there, so it's very
Oh, dear.
accessible to us. Yeah,
Yeah, Birch he was just nominated for a James Beard Award.
he's a finalist. Yeah, hopefully he get it. Great guy too, great chef. We like Birch, Hot Dog, and of course a couple of Mexican places.
What in your view as a Mexican? What are your favorite Mexican? Not what is the best. What are your favorite Mexican places in Milwaukee?
Yes, we like Guanajuatos. But now for me it's a little conflict of a little conflict with Mexican food because most of the Mexican foods in America right now is border from the border.
Tex-Mex.
North Mexico basically.
Uh-huh.
I really never eat much of North Mexican food. Mexico City is in the center of the country, so most of my influences were by either Veracruz, from the Mexican Gulf, or the Pacific, Acapulco, or the Yucatan Peninsula. So mostly my experiences with food in Mexico was from South Mexico. We really never experienced North Mexican food. In fact, I never had a burrito in Mexico until when I got to America.
Isn't that more Tex-Mex though?
Yeah. So every time, every Mexican restaurant they give you rice and beans. That's not a thing in Mexico City. It's northern.
I've had the shrimp dish before, the gambero. I'd forgotten that the chickpeas are toasted.
Yeah, they're crispy. So we soak the chickpeas. We cook them, then we dry them again, and then we fry them, and then we roast them, and that's how you get the texture so nice and crispy.
Jerry gives it a thumbs up too.
Yes, I do.
Do you know Tom from who here? He's my friend who's in a wheelchair.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tom is a good friend of
Come to
mine.
the restaurant quite often.
I was just going to say, almost. He said, "Well, I was at Brisa last night. I'm going to Brisa tomorrow." Well, my brother's coming in. We're going to Brisa. Now, he is there all the time. He loves it, and it's his favorite. I think his favorite place to go in town for a variety of reasons. He likes the food. It's close, and he feels comfortable there. He loves to be there.
That was one of the main goals to the restaurant. Capacity is 300, and I don't want to do super fine dining. That was the first thing I wanted to do. First, like fine dining, that came to my mind. But I was like, no. Let's just make good food, honest food, something that people feel welcome, and everyone can feel welcome into this place. That was the main goal. That's what I thought. Humble food, like something you get, from mamas or grandmas. Of course, that's hard to achieve the greatness of that. But
And one of the things I don't think we've talked about, but you have an outside portion too. Obviously, it's snowing at about 10 degrees here, but from like April till October,
August, October, yeah.
it's full. I mean, you in the middle of the summer, you can't get in. You cannot sit outside for the core hours because you guys are just jammed. We're right on the Milwaukee River. And Brisa's also obviously we're right on the Milwaukee River. So we have this beautiful view. Boats come up, park, and there's a little a dock right there where they can come up the gangplank and come have something to eat and go back on the gangplank and going down the river.
I always say you got 5 ways to get into this restaurant. It's not an excuse. You can come in walking, you can come in with a car, with a bicycle, with a boat, or the river walk. I don't have a deck for airplane yet, but we're working on it. No, just kidding.
And one last thing I wanted to ask you about was the Chef's Latino Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. You remember that? Tell me about that group.
Yes. I was going to start with Erasmo and Nick from La Antigua restaurant in West Dallas, Milwaukee.
Oh yeah.
One day we all got together. Both of them, they're the true the members that started the whole situation. That approached me and I came to one meeting in Erasmo's house, probably like 8 years ago. We sit down, we got some cervezas, and they were mentioning, like, Ramses, we wanted to do a Chef Latinos of Wisconsin chapter where we can help people around the state two ways, make dinners, be a non-profit organization, raise some money for people in need, and also bring chefs from all over the state. They're Latino, and they're basically never acknowledged or recognized in the media. The state can see the talent, and also acknowledge a little bit more the Latin presence and the Latino presence here in the state, in the country.
Very prevalent here in Milwaukee. It's more South Side, especially. There's a large Latino population, a lot of great shops and restaurants, South Side. But it's not just only the South Side. I mean, they're all over the city. Those organizations are important to give a little bit of highlight some of the things that are going on and give support to groups that sometimes may not get as much acknowledgement as they do. So
That's good.
this is really good. I John Shields, if you're watching. John Shields is a friend of mine in New Zealand. Is also a YouTube chef, and he sent me a little note the other day. Says he's watched my videos, and he's had these new ones where we've got chefs coming in and all this food. And he says you ought to rename your channel Charlie Loves His Food. So I do love my food, but I want to thank Chef Ramses for coming in.
Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate you so much.
For bringing.
Nice job.
This is lunch, and so I can't wait to see what someone's going to bring me for dinner. But in seriousness, Chef Ramses and people that run small businesses here in Milwaukee are one of the reasons I want to do this show. Shine a light on people and their businesses, give them an outlet to talk about what they do and how they get to where they are, because everyone's story is interesting and different. So, again, thank you, Chef. And I want to thank everyone out there for supporting. Everybody for supporting Munching Around Milwaukee.
Yeah,
See
yeah.
you next time.